Okay, that angle looks a little bit better. So, today I've gotten sidetracked from the projects I've been wanting to work on yet again. So what I wind up doing is I find it works better for me to kind of wake up in the morning and decide, what do I feel like working on today? Sometimes it takes me a few minutes to decide. Sometimes it takes me a couple of hours to decide. So luckily, today it only took a few minutes to decide. The John Deere 400 and the Cub 86 were reluctant to start the last time I went out to start them up and test drive them. So I went ahead and towed them back over here and got them going again. But the catch is, with the John Deeres, I love these John Deere 200 series tractors, but the catch is the John Deere 200 series, the 300 series, the 400 series all have one critical flaw, of which if I could get my hands on the throat of the engineer that designed them, I would probably strangle him half to death. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. Who in their right mind wants a hood to only open halfway? Now, if all you got to do is check the oil, that is hunky-dory. But when you're talking about 30 some odd, 40 some odd year old machines, you kind of have to do more than just check oil from time to time. I have gone over it in my head several times over the last months, trying to come up with a reasonably simple alternative for the hinge mechanism that's on this thing so that the hood can open a proper distance on these 200 series. And so far I've not been able to come up with anything practical. And I'll get you guys off of the stand here in a little bit, and I'll take you down and actually show you what the mechanism looks like. But I may have came up with a temporary workaround in the process of working on the John Deere 400 earlier today. It was a real simple ignition related problem, but with the 60-inch deck, with the stupid hood, I had to wind up, well, it was easier to remove the deck than to lean over to lean over far enough that I could reach and work around the deck. And I decided, if I'm going to have my head sticking under this hood, I'm going to pull the hood. So what finally dawned on me is, instead of completely redesigning, or at least temporarily, instead of completely redesigning the hinge mechanism, what if I could just make a quick and simple disconnect mechanism for the rearward hinge? And I'll show you what that allows me to do here real quick. The threads on this one needs cleaned up a little bit, but at least it's better than having to get a wrench. Voila! It's amazing! I can see the top of the engine now. Who would have thunk it? What a crazy idea. Anyways, this is what I came up with. And I still want to spend a little bit of time working on the hand wheel part of it, putting some scallops in it or something, but all I did is I removed all four of the nuts that secure the rearward hinge to the hood, and replaced only 2 of them with these guys. Something that I can get my hands on real quick and easy from basically right there. It's still a little bit crowded. It's not exactly what I would consider perfect, but by the time I get done putting some scallops on here, I think it'll be quite a bit better. Between that and I need to clean up the threads on a couple of these studs in here, but maybe with any amount of luck, this will be a reasonable solution. Now, the kicker is I don't know how well these are going to do as far as staying in place with vibrations and whatnot, and the hoods are nothing more than fiberglass, and these things are a little bit heavy, so I don't know if they'll try to damage the inserts that are threaded into the fiberglass or not. So I'm going to test drive this idea on one of the John Deeres for a while and see how it works out. But maybe the other alternative would be to make something like this out of aluminum instead of steel. But at any rate, it's a step in the right direction. It never should have been designed like this. The 100 series that came before these things, the hood opened all the way like it should, but not the 200 series. So anyways, I'll get you guys down for a minute here and I'll show you the mechanism. So you can see there's a forward section and a rearward section. And these are the studs that they mount on. So it's just one of those things. It's driven me nuts the entire time I've owned a 200 series John Deere. But like I said, hopefully this will give me a fighting chance with this without having to re-engineer, half the damn tractor to try and make the hood open a reasonable amount. So we'll see. I'll give it a try and hope that it doesn't, pull these studs out of the fiberglass. So anyways, hopefully I'll get back to the rotary table thing or one of the other projects I've abandoned temporarily in tomorrow sometime.